Guess where we are again? The airport. It's Tuesday morning. The time is 4:44, and we just finished, or we're just finishing a night that has been pretty decent. I've got almost 300 on. It seems that every time I was watching something on my phone, I got interrupted by another $20 trip. So I haven't had that many trips, but most of them were $20 or around $20. And now I got this one to the airport that was another 40. So yeah, it was a short airport trip. It was from Cadboro Bay, or Cordova Bay. I always get those two mixed up because they seem to sound about the same. Cordova and Cadboro. Yeah. So that was good. It's been a good night. I've watched all the YouTube videos that I was subscribed to, and I started watching my watch later lists. And I was in the middle of a documentary about Apollo 8, and that's when I got disturbed the most, and I wanted to see that, but now I'm dropping off at the airport. Now I'll probably have to do some cleaning up of the car. It's been a little rainy in the night, and so I looked at the back seat. The interior looks kind of dirty. Yeah, I was able to nap for about an hour or so at some point earlier on, like between midnight and 2. Not much else to say. Be back later. Well, the Tuesday night was kind of slow. It took, I got my lease together by about 10 o'clock, but then the morning hours after 2 were dead. I had about 150 on by 2. And or was it 1 o'clock? It wasn't doing too bad. Then I had one trip at 2. My next trip was at 4:30, and my next trip was at almost 5. The call woke me up, and so I went and got it. And the guy was going completely the opposite direction from the way I needed to go. So I dropped him off in Langford, and now I'm rushing back in the morning rush traffic to get back into town. All these people are going to work, and now they're all slowing down. You're probably all slowing down already because the construction zone traffic speed limit is 60 km. And if you look in the distance, you can see a line of cars all the way down the hill and all the way down. It's all cars. In the ahead of me down there. And they all come to a traffic light, which will be red. Isn't that grand? And so the thing will be backed up for a ways. Maybe not quite so much now, but 10 minutes ago when I was heading in the opposite direction, there were a lot fewer cars going the way I'm going now than there are at the moment. It is 6:15, 15 minutes past the end of my shift. I'm at about 2:20 now, so I'm not too worried. I got a bit of money, so that's okay. I just didn't want it to end quite this way, but I did get some sleep in the morning. I tried to watch some videos from my watch later list. right, talk to you sooner. Well, here we are again. This was the Wednesday night. And the Wednesday night was relaxed and easygoing for the most part. I didn't kill myself. I didn't work too hard. It was a nice flow. It was balanced, you know. I didn't work too hard and I didn't get too bored. Although I did have a chance to take a nap a couple times in the morning hours. And now I was rewarded with a trip to the airport for all my trouble. So that was like $52 on top of the 200 and something I had already, 220 maybe. Well, that was okay. And Uber sucks. Uber is the worst thing that there could be. What it is basically is a corporation that furnishes software that you use on your cell phone to get a ride from these guys who have cell phones with applications on them. And effectively, this Uber company takes 20% off the top of the fare, and the driver gets what's left, the 80% of the fare. But the fare is going to be 50% of what you would pay for a taxi. And so the driver has to furnish the car, maintain the car, pay for all the repairs and everything else on the car. Basically run the car on half of what a taxi gets. And Uber keeps getting its 20% no matter what. So Uber can have lots of drivers and make a fortune while all the drivers are scraping just to get by. And that's Uber. And one trick that I heard that they did down in Australia is Uber started off and they were giving decent rates and the drivers were doing okay. They were making a living. And then in order to become more competitive and in order to squash the taxi industry, Uber went and lowered the rates to get a larger portion of the market. So what happened? The drivers made less money. The drivers made less money and they had to work harder to make less money. So that's the corporation looking out for you. Now, I'm not saying that the taxi industry is perfect, but Uber is a scourge on the taxi industry. I know someone else who was driving taxi down in Los Angeles, and there's so much Uber that you can't make a living driving taxi in Los Angeles anymore. Unless you have an airport day. You know, they tell me the airport days are profitable. But any other time, you can be sitting and waiting and getting no business because all the business went to Uber. And the Uber drivers are starving and they have to work harder and harder to make less and less money. And the reason I'm saying this, and the reason I'm saying that Uber sucks, and why I'm saying this right now, is because I don't want them to advertise on my videos anymore. I heard from my sister that there was an Uber ad on my video. I don't even monetize my videos. Why is there an Uber ad on my video? Uber sucks. Uber's a gang of assholes. Uber, get your advertisement off of my video. This is a taxi vlog. This is not an Uber vlog. Uber, you suck. I saw it happen. Basically, there was a car coming down. The car over there was coming down the street and hit the motorcycle. And the motorcycle is directly in front of us. Right under that street sign, there's the motorcycle, and the guy is on the grass, and there's a motorcycle, there's a policeman. The ambulance is coming. I just called for the ambulance. It's on the way. You can probably hear the siren in the distance. I saw the fucking thing happen too. I might be stuck here for a while. Or is that a fire truck coming? I wonder if they'll let us go soon. Oh yay. Well, move on. There's not much to see but this here. Okay. It's been a steady night. The Thursday night was steady, and there goes a bike without a light. And I did well at almost 200, 300 I mean. Almost 300. And it was painless and steady, and now the car's beeping at us, but I don't care. It's gonna stop eventually. It beeps 8 times slowly and 50 times fast, and then after the 50 times it's done. See, it's done. Yeah, and I went to sleep a few times, but still, you know, even when I'm done, when I was in the car wash, washing the car, I missed a trip. And then when I was coming back to the gas station to fuel up, this guy walked up to me and says, can I take you? I said, no, sorry, I'm done. I'm really done. Once I fuel it, that's it. I'm done. I don't want to drive anymore. I've had enough. I'm tired. I did a good night's work already. Can't complain. I'm gonna go home, have something to eat, watch a few videos, have a few drinks, few little glasses of whiskey, and I'm done. That's it for the Thursday night. One more to go. Maybe I'll get enough rest today. That'll be something. Oh, we made it to the airport. It's only 3:30, so I've got 2.5 hours to go. This was a really busy night. This is a Friday night where I have not stopped driving since 6:30, and that's like 9 hours ago since I started, and I have not stopped. There was one time where I had to use the porcelain facilities, and I had a time call 10 minutes away at a hotel. So I got to the hotel lobby 5 minutes before the time call was due. I left the cab right there outside. I went inside the lobby, found the restroom, did what I had to do, came back out, and as soon as I was back out to the car, I was about to call the customer, and the customer got in the car and went to the other end of town for like $28. So I've done well. I've got, I think, almost $500 on right now, and I still have 2.5 hours to go. So it's been a really successful night. I've had, you know, this is my second time out on the peninsula. I've had a trip out this way already. This is the second one. And I've had another trip out to the Western Communities as well. And I've had $20 trips from one end of town to the other. I couldn't do any wrong tonight. I even got some American. Oh, and over here, there's a police car that pulled over that truck. That truck passed me coming up the highway. And I was going a little bit over the speed limit, but that truck was going a lot more over the speed limit. And so, okay. So that truck passed me, and not long after that, this other vehicle was coming up and passed me as well, and I saw that it was a police car. So yeah, the RCMP are on the highway, and they stopped, or they waited to get almost to the airport. Like, I mean, they went off the highway and went through the roundabouts and all that other stuff, and then got pulled over. Oh, classic move. I've never received a speeding ticket for being on that highway, and I speed on it all the time, but it's the amount by how much you speed that's important. So I'm pretty glad, you know, I've done well, and I think I was rested enough before this night started. And I also did it in such a way that I didn't stress myself. I did not go for trips that were too far away. I only went for those that were nearby. And let's turn the high beams on so we can see something here. The lights on this car point down, so you don't see things in the distance. You can't read street signs at night because the headlights point down rather than straight ahead. And we'll go through this this piece of shit here. Stupid fucking roundabout. And get back on the highway. And if nothing really memorable happens, you know the story. Well, here we are again at the airport. It's now, the time is 5:43. And I had a little bit of a teaser earlier. What happened is, after the last run to the airport, which was just after 3, I got back into town and I had another fare, or had another call, but I got flagged down by some people, and because it was closer, so I took them, and they went somewhere. Then I had another call after dropping them off, and this call was to an address, and it said, Wendy, lobby to airport. So I thought, great, I got another run to the airport. Wendy's going to the airport from the lobby of this building. Well, I phoned her and she said, yeah, I'll be right down. So she came right down, and I said, so you're going on a trip, going to the airport? I mean, I helped her with her bag and everything, and she says, well, I'm going to the airport, but you're not. You're taking me to meet the airport shuttle at this and that hotel. Oh, okay. Well, it even says on this thing here, it even said, you know, Wendy, lobby to airport. And she says, well, I guess somebody misunderstood me, or I didn't speak clearly enough. I thought, okay, so I took her to her shuttle. And then, well, she gave me $10 for my trouble. I already had, when I dropped her off, I had $410. $510. So after I dropped her off, I had $520. This one here was $51 and something. This is another airport run. I went to sleep in a parking lot, took a little break, and went to sleep. and was watching something on YouTube, but I fell asleep watching it. That's how exhausted I was, because I had been going non-stop all night. So it's only in the morning, only after 4 that I was able to take a break. So anyway, I fell asleep, and then I got this call. This call was another time call for 5:20, I think, something like that. And she went to the airport. It was $51 and something. I mean, I showed you the meter at the beginning of this segment. She gave me $58. So I have $578 for the night, and 30 of those are American. So that's another $7 or $8 on top of that. I've had a very, very successful Friday night. And this is the very end. The time is now 5:46. I'm going to go and wash the car and drive back into town. And I hope yours could be better than mine.